Hello and welcome to Board Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And this is our review
of Barbarian Kingdoms.
Barbarian Kingdoms is a area control game published by Ares Games, but also by Jester.
Jester is the actual...
It's their other publisher in other territories.
Yeah.
And this is a really interesting game that if you want to hear us talk about, or you can hear us just by listening, but also we want you to
hit the subscribe button, please.
Hit that button,
yeah.
because it's really nice and it helps the channel massively. If you think we deserve it after watching this review, or the rest of our content, press it.
Yeah, on top of that, if you press it, the Barbarian will not come to invade your house.
They won't invade your house, so if you don't want to be invaded by barbarians, subscribe. Or barbers.
Do both of them together.
Either subscribe.
That's another story.
It's another story. We'll see you on another video. Subscribe. Like Matt, should we talk about this game?
Yeah, let's go into it.
Let's go.
Rolling dice, feeling nice. Cardboard dreams and game schemes. Click subscribe, it's a vibe. Board Stupid's all we need. Board Stupid, game reviews for you and me. Board Stupid, here's what you should play and see.
Barbarian Kingdoms is a game of area conquest, control, and king slaying for up to 6 players. On your route to all of the king slaying and control, you're going to be recruiting troops on the map. And you're going to be doing that by paying the cost associated and then placing your troop in an area that you already control. Not only that, you're going to be putting the money that you need to pay for the troop also in that territory, creating a spicy target for someone to come and invade. While you're preparing to invade, you can maneuver your troops around the spaces you already control, but only one troop can be in each space. You can do a special castling maneuver like this by switching your king and a troop, or if you do have a free space, you can move one of your troops into an adjacent space that you control. Alternatively, if you are by a port, you can move one of your troops into the sea, which will allow you to then embark in any other port space around the map, which is very interesting indeed. If you've invaded another province, which is another action that you can do, you can then attempt to try and claim it. By claiming it, you're going to put your shield here, and if you've got all of your shields out, you're going to win the game. You can also win the game by killing 2 opposing kings. All of this invading and killing and claiming can be contested by the other players in an innovative and interesting combat system where you're going to be bribing your opponents by throwing money from your supply behind your screen into a bag and giving it to your opponent. Yes, you're going to be giving them money, but also you're going to be giving yourself combat points. The player with the highest combat points wins the battle. Again, you win the game in 2 ways: killing 2 other kings or controlling 7 total territories. So Matt, first impressions of Barbarian Kingdoms?
It's a very shiny game. It's super shiny with all these tokens that are
like foiled?
Yeah, foiled. Yeah, everything is foiled, and it's really nice. But no, apart from that, the first things that struck us when we saw it a spiel was well, the board is hexagonal.
Yeah.
Then you normally see hexagons on boards, but not a board hexagonal.
Board. Exactly. It's quite striking, isn't it?
And when we came up to that and started checking out the game, what it's about, well, it makes a lot of sense since you can play up to 6 players. So each player will be at one of the side of the hexagon, and is where your kind of like your starting territories is going to be. But apart from that, yeah, it's a really lovely, not even that complicated production.
Simple production.
It's, beside everything that is foiled in terms of the coins and the treasures, for the rest is standees and this hexagonal. But that's what you just need. You don't
pretty
need
straightforward. Yeah, I mean, you could imagine other publishers doing this game with big minis and things.
Well,
like
a lot of minis. Yes,
you could see the Simons of the world, etc., doing something like that. But it's not necessary. And this game goes to show that they've focused really more on the game,
on the actual game. not just what it looks like.
Absolutely.
And talking about what the game is and how it plays. So yeah, we saw more or less how you play. So you got your troops, you're moving around the territories. You have to claim, not only moving into the territories, you need to claim that, or you can battle the other your neighbors, and then you can come and call for reinforcement. So that is all good. But actually, what do you think about the flow of the game?
I think the flow of the game is really fantastic because this is, I mean, it's not a Euro game. It's a hybrid area control.
Yeah,
game.
it is. Yeah,
it has some Euro influences from things like El Grande and such, which you see a little bit of. But what I really like about this game is it is really heavily interactive. And you're only doing one thing on your turn.
Yeah.
So it can actually be quite snappy, even with 4, 5+ players. You're not doing a bunch of stuff. You do one thing, which then resolves.
Yeah.
But that's it. You're either recruiting, or you're moving, or you're invading, or you're controlling, whatever it is.
You're claiming, or you're,
You're doing one of those 5 actions. And that's it, and it just flies around the table. And I think the flow is really nice. Really good.
It's, as you said, it's very snappy. The box says it's 15 minutes per player, and I kind of like say probably a little bit more at the start. Probably at the start, because you kind of like. But at the end of the day, those are the action you can take. Is, do I need to put another dude on my map? Do I move it around? Do I want to do battle with this or that? That's very much it. But the best things about the game, I would say, goes down to the close economy.
Yeah.
And to the bribe system.
The bribing
that actually drives the game to something that is different from all the others.
Yeah, do you know what? You don't really see this sort of closed economy in many games, actually, weirdly enough, where you never take anything from the supply.
There's not a bank. There's no bank.
Whatever is on the board is the money in the game.
The coins are behind your screen, your personal screen, and the coins are on the map. That's it. That's it. There's no more coins. There's no banks. There is no divine intervention that's going to fill up your coin.
If you need more money, you've got to go get more money from the map, and then that money will flow between the players, which is really interesting because you're going to need that money, man. Yeah. Because when you're doing actions, you need to pay for them.
Yes.
If you're going to be recruiting new dudes, you need to pay the cost on your board and then put the money on the map.
Yeah. So the more dudes you put on the map, again, it goes like first troop is costing 1, while the 4th troop will cost you 4 for a single unit. So having a lot of dudes on the map is actually it's going to cost you. But on top of that, and then you say you put in the whatever you're recruiting. I put in my dude here, and I put the 4 coins here, that if I don't claim it back the turn after, someone else could claim.
Come and take them from you.
So there is a lot of very interesting strategies and tactics that you can do with these closed economies, especially because, again, the bribe things I was talking about is that when you do fighting against someone else, what you do is put some coins inside this little bag here.
So will your opponent.
And then we exchange the bag. And then we see, all right, Wayne gave me, well, what is it? 5 coins, while I gave him nothing at all.
Nothing.
But in this case, he gave me 5 coins. That means that his fighting power is gonna have a +5, while I gave him like nothing. So my troops as a 0. However, I'm gonna be happy to lose this fight because probably I'm gonna lose a dude, but I'm getting 5 coins.
Absolutely, and that system is really, really fun. Quite political, lots of mind games going on, which is really fun. And more than just the fighting by invading other provinces, you'll do fighting through people just challenging you. Yeah. Because whenever you want to do something, if you want to invade a province, either a neutral province or someone else's province, or whether you want to claim a province.
You just need to be adjacent to that.
If someone's adjacent to you, they might just say that. Not without a fight. And they can move their troops in, and then you'll start bribing and fighting. It's great. If you've got loads of money, a big war fund, you can succeed and smash your way around the table. But if you do that too early, then you're going to be struggling to catch up.
It's
a really nice sort of risk reward.
There is a risk rewards. Kind of like push your luck in terms of like how much you can you can bribe or how much you can fake it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, because again, all the money is going to be behind your screen. So the other players don't really know how much money you got in there. So when I'm gonna fight Wayne doesn't know if I'm very rich and gonna put a lot of stuff in that bag, so maybe not. So there is that mechanism that really interesting. And the other very nice things is around the table, you create strategies and synergy with the other players as well, because it's like, let's stop that player, or he's getting too much control, or he's getting too close to the victory conditions. So everybody start like getting against the single player.
Very political.
But at the same time, so I think the last time that we play, I let you guys do all your things while I was doing my little things on the other side of the map, and then I won the game. But just like,
everything is public, right? You've got two scoring conditions. One is have 7 territories, and you start with 3.
Yep.
So once you get the other 4 on the board, you win. Or the other one is killing. It's 2 other kings.
2 other kings. So you are the Kingslayer.
You're the Kingslayer. Kill
you
2
deserve to be the victorious.
You murder kings, you win. And that's all public once you start getting that stuff out. And killing kings.
And talking about the kings as well, that's the other interesting aspect of the game. Each faction, you got 6 faction again. Each king and each faction will have different powers. So there's a little asymmetry in there. Some faction will let you collect more coins. Some of them will let you recruit for less. Or some of them are really fighting.
Yeah, really fighting.
Some of them, if you're fighting in your own territories, you got more defenses. Someone else, if you kill a dude, you kill it permanently.
It doesn't go back, which is brutal.
Yeah, because again, the other things we haven't mentioned, if my dude is killed on the map, it will go back on my board to be recruited again in the future if I can. While the power from that specific king, if is the Visigoth kings, if this is gone, is gone forever. So it's really interesting on how then you base your play style on the power that you have. Again, it's nothing game breaking.
No.
It's not like, oh, that power is. It's something that is really nice that it's there. It gives a little bit more interest.
And I like that you have both a faction power and a king power. So the king power is only working if your king's alive.
King, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
If your king dies, doesn't mean you lose the game. Doesn't mean you're out.
Keep playing.
You can still win, technically. But your king won't be able to exert his power or influence to do that thing. Other things I love about this game, Matt, is this sea space is like one space, and that makes it fascinating. Because if you're in a port region, which is one of these little icons here, which we'll show you during the close-ups, right, you can go into the sea with your units, and then you can then embark at any other port, which makes it very spicy.
So if you're in a port, you are very advantaged because you can move around wherever you want on the map. At the same time, everybody can attack you.
Yes.
So it's quite interesting, and this is the beauty of these games, is that everybody is constantly fighting against each other. There is never that things where, okay, I'm here in this corner, the player that is playing on the other corner will never actually meet or will never fight.
No.
I'm just gonna fight on left and right. No. It's a mosh pit.
It's a really fun one as well, Matt. We talked about the closed economy. We talked about or the fighting, the combat, and the bribery system, which I think is amazing, by the way. We'll talk a little bit about how you take the cash, because taxing is really important. You're limited by the number of spaces that you can tax, but you can only tax if you can control the places, and you can only recruit if you control the places. So it's kind of a slow start. So this game has a really interesting arc, a slow burn, as everyone's slowly coming out from their home bases, taking over a couple of neutral provinces, just to be able to recruit. Just to be able to start taxing more.
And again, as soon as you manage to control 4 different territories, there is another victory condition. So
but at the start, again, everyone's going to be getting at least 1 or 2 out. So very quickly it escalates, and you're going to be butting up against someone else's borders very soon.
Especially because the territories, the map is big, but not that big.
No, it's pretty. It gets tense.
You only can put 1 dude on each territories. That means that you got 4 dudes plus your king 5 of their territories are yours, technically, and there are not that many, so you are constantly neck to neck with your neighbors and trying to find out what they want to do. Should I attack? Should I not? Should I let them take that territory so they can move out and then I can move in? It's quite tactical, but at the same time, in a short time. It's not a 3 hours games. This is in a 4-player is an hour.
It's an hour, which is
an hour and a half with the 6 players when there is a lot going on. And I find that absolutely fantastic. And I think it's gonna give us a nice segue to the next section. Who is this game for?
Let's find out.
Okay, well, so as we said, what do you think this game is for?
If you're a fan of those area majority games, which we are, if you like things like Blood Rage or All Rising Sun or Anchor Gods of Egypt, the Lang trilogy, or The Godfather even, or if you like more classical games like El Grande, this might be worth looking into. Because I think this has more in common with El Grande, weirdly,
even if
than
it's,
things like the Simon game.
Yeah, but it's even if it's slightly different, because El Grande is area majority, while this is area control.
No direct combat. This is very much direct.
And
combat.
this is, I got one dude in my territory, that is my territory. So there is, that's slightly different, but absolutely that is the kind of spirit of the game, is controlling territories, making sure your troops can move in the right position before attacking, or be ready to defend a certain territory that you want to tax in the future, or something that you want to claim to trying to win the game, or ambush someone else king to
try and kill him. And if you really like an interactive game,
this is heavily interactive.
Really heavily interactive. We talked about Altai Dawn of Civilization, which has some area control elements. Very well, not similar really, but it has the controlled pace, right, where only one person occupies a space really. But this is very different, because in that game you can kind of turtle a little bit. In this game you can't. You cannot turtle because other players will not let you. It's not
absolutely,
possible. You will be attacked from all angles. So I think you really need to be up for an interactive game. But
it's an aggro game, so you need to be ready for some.
You've got to bucket, strap up and get ready for it. Matt, what about you? Who do you think it's for?
I think you named them. Those are the usual suspects. I'm finding it's a really fun game. It's probably less thinking from a certain point of view, because again, your actions are very limited. You got one action per turn, so you can think as much as you want, but you still got one things to do.
And sometimes you won't really have
sometimes you're forced to do some of the action. But again, I love this mosh pit feeling where everybody's against everyone, and if you really want, you need to talk with the guys sitting next to you and try, can we make an alliance?
And how much you want to pay for it?
And the close economy and this bribe section where I fight you but still pay you money. So even if you lose the territory, you might get a lot of money. They're gonna bounce you back into the game. So there is that constant. No one is ever at the back in this game, so you don't really know who's winning until someone wins the game. And I find it really, really entertaining, and most of all, is a fun game.
Absolutely, Matt. Should we move on to the next section?
Yes, let's do the final thoughts.
So, Matt, give us your final thoughts on Barbarian Kingdoms, and where would you put the complexity of it? I
would put the complexity to intermediate, probably.
Okay.
It's not a beginner game, but at the same time, it's not. The rules are not that complicated. It's quite easy to pick up, especially if you played already some area control games and some war games. And my main thought about this game, that is a fun game to play, and it's fun to be around other 5 people that are playing these games, and whatever happens. And I found it. I had such a great time playing this game.
I think what I really liked about this game, many things really, but it's way. You've got to be very careful because you only have 4 pieces, right? Your maximum of, you're not going to have loads and loads of troops, right? You've not got tons of stuff in your supply, loads of, you've got 4 guys, right? So where you put them, how you maneuver them is very important, right? And you can easily make a mistake. So there is a narrow room. but the game doesn't drag on too long. You're not playing for like 4 hours and then being upset because you messed up.
Yeah, because you just put the wrong, the dude in the wrong position.
Oh, wait, here, so then,
no,
4 hours of game time down the pan. No,
Yeah.
hour and a half, and then you can laugh about it afterwards. It's just short enough to not feel bad.
No,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Just short
I agree
enough
with
to
you.
not feel bad. I love the closed economy system. I think that needs to be done more. It really encourages going out and getting resources and attacking your friends if they're sitting on a pile of taxable money that A, you don't want them to have because they can use it to bribe you, and B, you want to have it.
Yeah, because
so
you
can
need
bribe
it.
them.
Because once you finish your money, you finish. You need to go out and fight to get it.
Yeah, which is really cool. I think I'm more going to put this up towards the advanced, I think, just because this has all of the asymmetric powers as well, with the king and different kingdoms and different setups. And if you've got more players, then it gets absolutely crazy. But I think if you are an intermediate player that wants to push on a little bit, this is a good purchase, and wants to be a little bit fighty, this is one of those. I think this is a real underrated hit, a real unsung gem. It went under the radar for us.
Under the radar. No, really happy that we managed to actually get a copy and have a lot of fun with this game.
Thank you, Jester Games, by the way, for providing this copy for us. It's fantastic, and we loved it. We can't wait to play again.
Absolutely. So I will say it's definitely a big recommendation for me if you're looking for an area control and a little bit of a fighty game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a strong recommendation from both of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was our review
of Barbarian Kingdoms
by Jester and sometimes Aries Games.
Both of them.
Yeah. It's a fantastic area control game with some really interesting elements. Closed economy, bidding, bribing. Love bribing my friends. That's great.
Fighting,
moshing.
Controlling territories, slaying kings.
It's the most satisfying way to win.
Absolutely. There it is.
Slaying kings feels good. Feels powerful. But
again, we loved it. We loved it.
We did like it.
It went under the radar. We really think that you should keep an eye on this one, and if you can manage to grab a copy, definitely do it and have a look.
Go check this out on BGG. Go have a look. See if you can grab a copy for a good price, because I don't think it's even that expensive. I think it's really good value.
It's around the £40 mark. Yeah,
pretty good, or less. So worth a punt if you're in the market for a fighty area control game. And let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you liked this video, you know what to do. It's just hit the like button and then also
hit the subscribe button.
Absolutely, do that, because we have a plan for our top area control games of all time.
Yeah.
At some point in the future. So hit that, and then you'll get told about it.
Whenever.
And you'll know.
Yeah.
And what's not to like about that? Check out the rest of our videos, and we're going to catch you again real soon.
Ciao.
What's it?